When do burglars prepare for the burglary? When they're at the crime scene, committing a burglary, or before? Before, or else it wouldn't be a preparation. Because if they would arrive at the house, they entered in, and then they are figuring out, oh, how are we going to do this? They're way too late. And no criminal in his right mind would do that. Criminals are quite practical. When you have the riot police, when do they put on their armor? When they're on the field, I'm saying when they're in the field facing the rioters, or when they're at the base. When they're at the base, obviously. Why am I mentioning this? One day, when Christ walked the earth with his disciples, he encountered a fig tree. There were leaves on it. So Christ climbed the tree because he was hungry, but he found no fruit. He undertook repercussions against the tree. He decreed the downfall of that tree. He went on to Jerusalem. He entered the temple, and in the temple he took a whip, began to chase folks. I'm saying kick those money changers out of the temple. He even blocked the door. I'm saying the entrance so that those money changers couldn't come in. He turned tables upside down. He threw the money around. He was shouting and all of that. And afterwards, the next day, when he and the disciples left the area, Peter saw that fig tree whom Christ had accursed, and it was barren. And not only barren, it was withered completely from its root within 24 hours. The disciples were shocked, and Christ told them if he would say, if you speak to a mountain and not doubt, it would move. He wasn't speaking about a literal physical mountain, because there's no use in moving a literal physical mountain, because it would cause a lot of it cause many earthquakes and all of that. But what Christ is saying here, that mountains of injustice, mountains of paranormal activity, which manifests in material and social circumstances, you can destroy those mountains. Those strongholds, you can destroy them when you walk by faith. So you enforce repercussions against them. And now look at this. What Christ did with that barren fig tree is the same thing he did in that temple. In the temple, there was physical action involved, but it was the same thing he did. He enforced repercussions on whatever was causing harm to the community. And he was consistent in it. Now look, with the barren fig tree, he undertook action spiritually, not physically. Well, physically climbed the tree to inspect it, but spiritually he undertook action. When he entered Jerusalem, he undertook physical action. And later, when the disciples and they moved out, they saw that the fig tree was withered. It died off completely from its roots. What did Christ do here? Christ taught us how to deal with life's issues. That's what he did. Now, look at this carefully here. That tree, that barren fig tree, he used it as a symbol, as a parable of what was going on in the social and material realm. In that community at the time, the scribes and Pharisees and also some other groups were exploiting the people. Christ, when he was approaching Jerusalem, he became hungry on its way, and he saw that physical fig tree. So there should be fruit on it. There wasn't. And it was growing outside of its season, so that was a red flag already. In similar way, the population had a need that they exploited at the expense of the poor. Just as with that fig tree, which was deception, Christ undertook action against the people that enacted the danger of the community. And look at this. Nobody arrested him. Why didn't the Roman soldiers nor the auxiliary troops over there arrest Christ? He was disrupting public order. Even today, when you disrupt public order, you are arrested. You spend some nights in jail, or you'll be fined. Why didn't the Roman troops nor the auxiliary troops over there arrest Christ? And why didn't any of those money changers turn on him because he messed around with their money? Because people that love money, when you mess around with their money, they'll become voracious animals. They come to devour you. And if you owe them money, or you cause them to lose some money, or they want you to feed for your lives. None of those money greedy folks did anything to Christ when Christ was kicking them out. Why? Christ didn't have any weapons with him. Yes, he used a whip. But a whip against a sword, or against an arrow, or against rocks. So even the so-called weapon that Christ used wasn't, in physical terms, that powerful. Nobody turned on Christ because he was well prepared. How did he prepare himself? Remember, he undertook spiritual action against the fig tree, right? That's what he did. He undertook action spiritually first, before he acted physically. That's why nobody arrested him. He disrupted public order. He committed vandalism, according to our point of view. Because he broke stuff that belonged to other people. He rioted over there, kind of, on his own. And nobody in the right mind would riot on their own, because they're on their own. But what did Christ do? It wasn't rioting from his perspective. It was undertaking action that was needed, action that collectively people should take, but they didn't take. But he didn't just go out and undertook action. He acted spiritually first. And he demonstrated this with that barren fig tree. So next time you're dealing with debts, or you're dealing with some enemies in the neighborhood, or you're dealing with collective witchcraft, or with contention, whatever it is that you're facing, undertake spiritual action first. Enforce repercussions first in the spirit. And besides that, send out peace ahead of you. I explained it in another video. Do those two things in faith, in confidence, and then you begin to make baby steps. And after all, your steps will become bigger in the material. Make sure you undertake action spiritually first. So if you have, for example, someone that can't stand you, they don't want you out of the neighborhood, they want you to move, and they begin to spread rumors about you. You know, more people want you out of the neighborhood, but you don't have another job, you don't have money to move. Don't become stressed. Don't think, let me just talk with people to work these things out. No. Undertake spiritual action first. Enforce repercussions and send out your peace ahead of you. So it can be that your name is Joseph and you live in the neighborhood, and some people in the neighborhood turned on you. They want you out of there. They don't want you to see you around. As you begin to enforce repercussions on the neighborhood and on all the people and all the demons that are operating against you, and you send out peace ahead of you to burn away every resistance against you. You do this for days. Then suddenly, many of the people that wanted you out, they're gone. They've moved. Some of them were even kicked out of their homes. What happened here? You didn't even have to undertake physical action in the sense of finding a solution by your own physical or mental abilities, because you operated in the spirit first. So whatever root there was in the spirit that led to the manifestation of that hostility towards you, it withered from the root. So the manifestation had to wither also. So the manifestation had to fade away. That's how you do it. And let's say that this Joseph goes further. He had financial issues also because of all the tensions coming against him. And he has sent out peace ahead of him. So when he goes online to start his own project, he wants to make his own movie. He doesn't only has 80 euros on the bank account, but nevertheless he wants to start his own project. Within days, some of the people of the platform give him tips and hints how to crowdfund or how to get sponsorship. And within 2 months he has sponsorship, and within a half year his movie is there. So his dream to direct a movie came out, and actors complied with him. What happened? He didn't think, let me call an art school and ask for actors. He didn't think, let me go to bank to get a loan. If none of those steps would have been practical, he acted in the spirit first. He sent out peace ahead of him. He decreed the blessing first. So when he began to walk naturally in line with what he has decreed, things worked out well. And it's then that Joseph understood that the contention that rose against him months before was to hinder him from walking by faith. He wanted he wanted to direct a movie a long time ago. And by his own strength, or as the world taught him to do things, it didn't work out. So he began to practice spirituality in a Christ-centered way for his life. And when he began to do this, a lot of contention rose against him. But he kept on going, and he overcame. Listen, when you walk by faith, when you truly walk by faith, I'm telling you right now, there are going to be folks that cannot understand how you get away with things. You will be able to get away with a lot of things other people won't. Why? Because you walk by faith. Now, I'm not telling you to pick up a whip and to beat people at the marketplace. Similar way as Christ did. What Christ did there was what he did there. But what Christ demonstrated was you take action first in the spirit, and then you take steps in the natural. Not the other way around. You don't first take actions in the physical, in the natural, and then you're going to look for assistance in the spiritual. No, you take action in the spiritual first, and then you work that out in the natural. This is how you deal with finances. This is how you deal with relationships. This is how you deal with all things in life. That's how you operate as a spirit being. Well, I hope this video has edified you. Keep agreeing with Christ. Be at peace.